Alright, let's continue with part C and part D. We are on page 6, worksheet 8.3. Example 2, part C. Part C, we are looking at tangent negative 130. Oh, why is there a negative? Let's take a look at the previous page. When we have tangent negative, oh, look at negative angles. Tangent negative 130 will be equal to negative tangent 130. Okay, write that down. I'll do it here. Part C. Tangent negative 130 will be equal to negative tangent 130. Okay. Now, what about tangent 130? Tangent 130 will be in which quadrant? Let's take a look. 130, let's draw it out. 130 is in the second quadrant, right? Somehow it looks like that. 130. Earlier on, this is 230. This huge angle over here. If this is 130, can you recall how we find alpha, basic angle? This will be alpha, right? Alpha will be 50. Okay? So tangent 130. The negative remains because negative belongs from the, it comes from the previous part, negative. So tangent 130, look at the second quadrant. Tangent 130 equals to negative tangent basic angle, which is 50. So I repeat, tangent 130 equals to negative tangent 50. Quickly write down. Tangent 130 equals to negative tangent 50. Okay, I'm looking at the second quadrant because 130 falls in the second quadrant. Okay, I'm ready to solve. Negative becomes positive, so I simplify the problem to get tangent 50. Where can I get answer for tangent 50? Go back to this triangle. Right angle triangle, this is 50 degree. Opposite is P, adjacent is this. So I will get P over square root 1 minus P square. Okay. Then, are you satisfied with your answer? Are you satisfied with your answer? There's a square root at the denominator. You're not supposed to have square root at the denominator, so what should you do? You should rationalize. Rationalize by multiplying square root 1 minus P square on top, 1 minus P square below. Then you will get P square root 1 minus P square on top. Denominator will be 1 minus P square. Okay, third question done. Second question also correct. Let's look at our last question, part D. Part D, sine 40. So what's the relationship between 40, sine 40 and sine 50? Interesting. Can you think of complementary angles? Because 40 and 50 will give me 90. So let's take a look whether complementary angles will help. Take a look. Okay, I wrote down some notes here. Sine 90 minus theta equals to cosine theta, right? So if I take theta as 50, if theta is 50, right? 90 minus 50 will give me 40. Okay, I repeat, if theta is 50, 90 minus 50 will give me 40. So sine 40 is equals to cosine 50. Am I right to say that? Okay, sine 40 equals to cosine 50. Let's write down. Sine 40 degree equals to cosine 50 based on complementary angles. Okay, and I have the answer earlier on. Can you remember? We solved for cosine 50. Cosine 50. Cosine 50 answer is here. That's why they have the same answer. Square root 1 minus P square. So this question over here, example 2 test on negative angles, complementary angles, and of course the 4 quadrants. So make sure you know all of them. If you need more time, please pause the video. If not, turn to the next page. This page over here. Given that tangent A equals to 3 over 4, cosine B equals to negative 3 over 5, and that A and B are in the same quadrant. Again, evaluate without using a calculator. This example, it resembles one of the questions earlier on. Can you look at this question? Each of these give me one information, so I can conclude it's in the third quadrant, right? Okay, in example 1. Similarly, for example 3, I will do that. In example 3, it says tangent A is 3/4. Oh, I know that it is positive 3/4, so tangent is positive. Cosine B is negative 3 over 5. Oh, so cosine negative. Cosine is negative. Cosine angle B is negative. Alright? And A and B are in the same quadrant. Okay? This is also an important piece of information. A and B, they belong to the same quadrant. Okay, so all these will be important information. Let's see. The first information, tangent is positive. When will tangent be positive? Let me draw the 4 quadrants, A, S, T, C, for me to decide. Okay, A, S, T, C. So tangent is positive 3 over 4. Oh, when will tangent be positive? Tangent will be positive in the first quadrant where all of them are positive, or tangent will be positive in the third quadrant. Okay, so I write down tangent A is positive is either, therefore angle A will either be in the first or third quadrant. Okay, now let's look at angle B. Angle B is negative. Cosine B is negative. When will cosine be negative? Cosine will be negative when sine is positive or tangent is positive lah. Only sine is positive or only tangent is positive. So I can conclude that B lies in second or the third quadrant. B lies in the second or third quadrant. So since I cannot decide, A is either first or third, B is in second or third, I don't have enough information, I continue to read. Oh, A and B are in the same quadrant. Same quadrant means, it must be in the third. Right? Does it make sense to you? A can be first or third, B can be second or third. But since A and B must be in the same quadrant, both of them must be lying in the third quadrant. Okay, so there's a bit of analysis here. I write down A and B lies in the third quadrant. Okay, it simply means that A is between 180 to 270, third quadrant lah, and B also lies between 180 and 270. Okay, so with this information I can continue to solve the question. They asked me for sine A. How to do sine A? I only have tangent A, so this guide me to draw diagrams. Recall in the previous question I drew diagram, right? This question, can you recall? I drew this diagram. Third quadrant, so I draw this diagram. Okay, in that case theta is in third quadrant. So I'll draw a similar diagram. Okay? A lies in the third quadrant. So I will draw a diagram for both. A lies in the third quadrant, so A will be this big. Angle A will be this big. Then I will draw the right angle triangle. They say that tangent A is 3/4. So this is 3, opposite is 3 ma. Reference angle is here. The basic angle is here. So this is 3. Adjacent must be 4. Hypotenuse must be 5. Pythagoras theorem tells me that. For angle B, also in the third quadrant. Angle B also in the third quadrant. Let's draw another triangle. Angle B, they say cosine B is -3/5. So cosine, as you recall, is adjacent over hypotenuse. This is the basic angle, the reference angle. This is opposite. So adjacent must be here. This must be 3. This is 5. Make a guess, what is this? Okay lah, Pythagoras theorem will tell you that this is 4. So with these two information, one diagram for A, one diagram for B, I can try to solve A, B, and C. Question A, B, and C. Alright, if you cannot figure out, you pause the video and try to figure out first before I proceed. Okay, if not, just follow me. Angle, question A, sine A. Sine A, straightforward. Look at the diagram. Look at the diagram over here. Sine A is opposite over hypotenuse, 3/5. But again, don't forget. Okay, don't forget the famous ASTC. ASTC. Angle A is in third quadrant. Okay, only tangent is positive, so sine must be negative. Then your answer is correct. Okay, next. Part B. Tangent -b. When you see negative angles, refer to the formula lah. Negative angles here. Tangent negative theta equals to negative tangent theta. Tangent negative b equals to negative tangent b. Equals to negative tangent b. Equals to negative. What is tangent b? Look at the same diagram. Tangent b is opposite over adjacent. Tua kaso, right? Opposite over adjacent, 4/3. And let's check whether is it positive or negative. Tangent B, third quadrant. Oh, tangent is positive. So you can either write a positive or just ignore. You know it's positive if you don't write anything. Okay, so in conclusion, the answer is -4/3. -4/3. Let's check. It's correct. Last question. Part C. Tangent B over cosine A. Tangent B over cosine A, okay? If you are alert, you will have noticed that tangent B, we have found the answer. So we don't do double work. Tangent B, we have found the answer to be 4/3. So we don't do double work. We just proceed to find cosine A. Cosine A is here. Angle A is here. Cosine A will be adjacent over hypotenuse, 4/5. 4/5, and look at the ASTC. Third quadrant, right? Angle A is in third quadrant. Only tangent is positive. Cosine, whatever. Cosine A will be negative. Makes sense? Because cosine in the third quadrant must be negative. Okay, with that I can solve for part C. They ask for tangent B over cosine A. It will be this answer, tangent B, 4/3 over -4/5 cosine A. So it's 4/3 Divide by negative 4 over 5 means times negative 5 over 4. You flip it. Cancel away, you get negative 5 over 3. You get negative 1 and 2/3. You get the correct answer. Okay, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to stop the video. Please go and do your homework. Textbook page 239, exercise 8A. The following question. And also further practice. Okay, I will post the solution at a later date. That's all for this part of the lesson.